Okay, so I put an event up called Occupy Watchtower on Facebook, and right now there's about 18 attending, but there's not been a real clear goal or course of action for it yet. But I think that going back to the Kingdom Hal, just simply going back to the Kingdom Hal, may be the best way to protest. Now, you can do what you want, of course, and you don't have to be involved with Occupy Watchtower, but you know, if you want to go protest, whatever, this is all good things that you can be doing, informing the witnesses about the UN, whatever may be what you feel is important to say. But I think I'm going to have to well, I wouldn't say I'm going to separate it from the other causes, because I think people who are protesting can totally be considered part of Occupy Watchtower. But what I think I'm going to do is simply go back, just like I used to go back, just to talk to the witnesses, just to attend, just to be present. But the difference is that I will be talking to them. Now, a lot of us will say, I am disfellowshipped. You know, when somebody asks, are you disfellowshipped? Yes, I am disfellowshipped. You ever thought about what that means? Are you disfellowshipped? No, you were disfellowshipped at one point in time, but you are not disfellowshipped. That's like calling yourself a bad word or something. That's like calling yourself a name. You're not disfellowshipped. And that's the kind of wording that they use to separate you. So if you go back and they say, aren't you disfellowshipped? You simply say, no, you're not disfellowshipped. Now if they say, were you disfellowshipped? Well, sure I was. You disfellowshipped me, but I don't believe that disfellowshipping is biblical, or I don't believe that it's loving, or I don't believe that it's right, or, you know, whatever your personal view is on disfellowshipping. Now, if you believe in disfellowshipping, if you think they have every right to not talk to you because you don't agree with what they believe in, then this isn't your thing. But simply go back to the Kingdom Hal, Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, Wednesday, whatever day they go that you want to go. Heck, go all week if you want. And stay for the meeting, stay for the Watchtower, stay for the public talk. But at least stay to where you can stay at the end and talk to people. If you have family, go talk to your family. Are they going to tell you to stop talking to your mother or your father? They might. But in a country where we have freedom of speech, freedom of religion, are they going to be able to make you leave? No. And if they tell you to leave, just don't leave. Because if they call the police, then they have to explain to the police why you have to leave. And I have been going for almost 2 years. And even at halls where they kicked me out and even had the law come and talk to me, they still tell me I'm welcome there, as long as I don't preach or I don't hand out flyers or cause a scene. Now, more than anything, see, they don't want me to talk to the friends at all. But they know they can't really do anything about that. And if they want to preach to you, well, that's where you can rebuttal. You know, I don't agree with that. Or this is the way I see it. Because then they preach to you. So they can't really say, oh, you can't preach, and then preach to you. They can't do that. Because they open the conversation. And they will. Not all, but some will, especially elders and your family and your friends. So, a lot of people say, oh, you're intruding, you know, you're showing disrespect for the Kingdom Hal. No, you're not. You're showing disrespect for their religion. No, you're not. No, you're not. They're showing disrespect to you. They're treating you as less than a person. They're treating you, they're being discriminatory towards you. You are not disrespecting them by going to their Kingdom Hals and talking to your friends and your family. At all. you are just doing something that's really normal. Do you not believe that talking to your family is normal? Isn't it normal? Doesn't it make sense to talk to your family? Should anybody be able to tell you, hey, you can't be talking to your family here? Well, and if they shouldn't be, then don't let them. Ignore them. Do it anyway. That's it. And do it every Sunday. Oh, you may say, I don't want to go back to the Kingdom Hall. I don't ever want to see another Kingdom Hall again. Alright, well, that's fine. I understand that. And don't do it. This isn't your thing. But the Occupy Wall Street protesters do not want to be living in a park for a month, weeks, a month, however long they're going to be there. But they're so fed up with being broke and for the system not working for the common man, the 99%, and being jobless, that they're going to stay in that park until things change. So I suggest that we go every single Sunday. See, picture if I go to my mom and my dad's congregation, which is probably where I'm going to go. Now, I told my mom 2 years ago I'm going to start going to the meeting every Sunday without end. Well, I'll never stop. And she said, well, I'll leave the state. I will leave the state. Okay? Because she didn't want to have to deal with me being there. I never did it. I went maybe once. I went to an assembly after that she went to. And I just went to other Kingdom Halls and stuff. But now I'm going to go every Sunday. Now what is she going to do? She's going to have to see her apostate son every Sunday being nice to everybody. And while they're talking about apostates deserving to be slaughtered, they're going to have an apostate there being nice, being friendly. Isn't that going to make them feel weird? Because they're supposed to hate apostates. And while they're practicing hate in their heart, we'll be there being loving, being normal, being reasonable, being good people. People who allow them the freedom of speech, freedom of conscience, freedom of religion. And they're going to be there being people who violate freedom of speech and freedom of religion, freedom of conscience. It will provide a stark contrast to what they're doing. It'll show who the real bad guys, I guess, are, but I really don't believe there's bad guys here. That whole good and bad mentality is one of the root causes of all problems in humanity. Believing that there's good and evil, that this person's good and this person's evil. That Republicans are right and Democrats are wrong. Vice versa. America's the best country in the world. Every other country sucks. It's these things that separate people. If you ignore all of that noise, just do your thing at the Kingdom Hall, or in life in general. The people who are still involved in the fight, in this cycle, they're exposed to be mad, to be crazy people. Because there's nothing crazy about talking to your parents. And I'm not talking about Watchtower doctrine. Hey, how you doing? I love you. Haven't seen you in a while. What you been up to? You been keeping busy? Been working? Whatever. How's Grandma doing? Or if it's your friend, hey man, I haven't seen you in a long time. I sure have missed you all these years. You know, whatever. I hate that things have been rough between us, but I just realized, you know, man, I ain't gonna let those differences get in between us anymore. I'm sorry I've been absent for so long. Whatever you're gonna say, man, just do that. Do it every Sunday. Heck, if you want to do it all week, go to every meeting, that's great. If you want to show up for field service, meet with the group. And be like, you know, when they're talking about territories and all that, keep raising your hand, they're never going to talk to you. Suggest that, you know, they've already preached in all the inhabited earth, right? They're knocking on doors to people who are not going to become witnesses, pretty much, except for a few people maybe. Say, why don't we go feed the poor today? Or why don't we, I don't know. Why don't we go do something useful? Why don't we go help the protesters who are sick of the system? Why don't we do what Jesus did? You know, he fed the poor and cured the sick and all these things. Those are some suggestions. That's what I think we should do. Occupy the Watchtower. Occupy the Kingdom Hall every Sunday. Now, if I just do it, yeah, I mean, it'll have an effect down here for sure. But what if tons of us did it? What if we all started going back? And just not violating your freedom, just talking. Not letting them disrespect you. You don't believe in disfellowshipping anymore, right? Then why not go talk to them? Why allow their belief to control you? It's their belief, not yours. And if you go and put your authority forward, eventually it won't be their belief either, because it'll be shown to be ridiculous.